Hey everyone, we're here at E3 where we just got our first hands-on with Star Wars Battlefront 2 single-player mode, which has the story that the first game was missing. If you saw the game's early reveals, you knew this was coming. A single-player story campaign that features the adventures of Iden Versio, an Imperial pilot who was on the ground at Endor in Return of the Jedi when the second Death Star blew up. Today we got to play that story for the first time and got to see how cinematic it really is. And that word is important because it does feel extremely cinematic. And as much as I'd love to personally show you how cinematic it is, the game's footage is unfortunately really tightly under wraps right now. The footage you're seeing from the multiplayer campaign is the same great engine, with the same lush, incredibly detailed, authentic feeling Star Wars environments. So you're just gonna have to take my word that this is the single player story experience I was kind of hoping it would be. And naturally, a lot of this story is told with the standard kind of cutscenes and pre-rendered graphics that you would expect out of a story mode, but ideally, a game tells its story with the player, and that's what we experienced today. We are able to see the story unfold as we progress through each of Star Wars Battlefront's 2 game modes. From a flying mechanic while we were flying around in space, chasing down fighters, to boarding a ship, a capital ship from the Rebellion, getting off that ship and running through that, infiltrating the base, disabling things, and effecting a larger battle on a scale. It feels cinematic in a way that it feels like you're inserted into a scene in the films. And this immersive storytelling makes the entire situation feel natural, which is a little weird for a longtime Star Wars fan, because you're playing an Imperial pilot, like I mentioned earlier. And we've been hearing for 30 years that they're the bad guys. But when you're playing this narrative, you don't feel like the bad guy. It kind of tricks you to feeling like you belong in that empire. It's still super early, with the game not planning for release until around the fall or holiday season. But with the 15 minutes of gameplay we saw, this really looks like it could draw Star Wars fans in and tell a more cinematic, more interesting story than we've had in Star Wars games for a while. And we're really excited to see more as we get closer to the release date. E3 is only just getting started, so if you want to see more coverage, stay tuned to Engadget.